Today, the topic education in protocol in the new normal, one of the challenging things that happened in education sector since the COVID-19 striked very strongly around the world since actually March, was that we have now to think about education in protocol and in education in a new normal in various ways. One of the most things that we have to consider is that the COVID-19 hit not only the education sector in protocol, but actually it hit the entire sector of education dramatically. Fact was that the global governments shut down various training schools, etc. And one of the things is that we have to say that this is, excuse me just 1 second, I have to click here somewhere else, is that the new normal became something where we have to say, especially in education, it became very difficult. We have to say that especially the people had fear of face-to-face courses, fears of losing their job, the people had no more money, and the budget costs especially was dramatically impacting the entire education sector. So the consequence is that many training institutes had to go down to a minimum. People did not have money anymore, so we actually are working with a very straight budget costs, and big corporations are not investing, unfortunately, in training anymore. So what is the new normal? The new normal is that actually has a positive connotation as well, because the new normal made it happen that we are meeting each other today in a 100% online way. Conferences, everything is today 100% online. Education switched completely to 100% online. The blended way does not exist anymore. And actually I have to say that in ISPD we gave already this year, since March, more than 15 100% online live sessions for more than 500 participants worldwide, and we have lots of thousands of views in our different social media channels, from where the participants from the Sultanate of Oman, from Belgium, from Austria, from New Zealand, China and the USA are participating. One of the things is the fact that these kind of trainings that are given worldwide today are mostly free of charge. So that means if your institute, if your academic institution is trying to make money out of the education process at the moment, this is very, very difficult because of this overflooding of the offer that is at this very moment on the market. We have to say that from the perspective of ISPD, you know that we are based in the capital of Europe, in Brussels. We are doing since 2012 already full online and blended education. This has a variety of advantages. Of course, the most obvious advantages is that the software usage is a relatively simple one. Everybody can use the software in a relatively simple way. The software is cheap. We have as well, if we want to have special speakers and so on, we don't have to calculate so much with operative costs anymore. Travel costs are not existing. Imagine if we would all fly to Argentina today, it would have been much more costly to organize this event. And actually the accessibility global is given as well. On the other side, we have to say that the online education, as it is happening since the COVID-19 crisis strike, has a variety of disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages is that we have a lack of engagement with the audience. Of course, if you compare it from an interactive course, for an interactive workshop that we are, for example, from the ISPD are frequently incorporating in our courses, the engagement with the participants is simply not given. As well, the people are following courses, following conferences, following certain things online, but the attention span is 100% a very low one, and the distraction is permanently given. So meaning that the interaction is not existing. We have to as well say that most of the people are not switching on their cameras when they are attending any conference. So that means you are actually, like I am now, talking to an audience where I don't even know who is there. And this is something which is for the education process a very tricky experience for everyone, because you simply do not get immediate feedback as you are having in face-to-face courses. The price dumping that is existing since March, since April 2020 in the entire education sector is dramatically impacting all education programs worldwide. This is not only protocol, this goes up to business masters and so on, because you can get courses either for free or actually at a very, very low price. And if you see on LinkedIn, if you see courses on YouTube, this is some of the things where the prices are very, very low or even actually for free. That has as well the consequence that the quality is relatively down. So we can observe, if you are following on social media certain protocol sites, certain protocol consultants, you are going to see that you are probably per day getting approximately 10 hours of free content that is published. And this is actually as well overflooding the market, overflooding the people who are wanting to have some know-how, who are urging for know-how. But the disadvantage is that there is no certification. You don't have any guarantee of the shared content, that this is a research content and so on. And of course, fact is that no costs means as well no quality. The perception is definitively given. Education is in a certain way always as well entertainment, and this is one of the factors why the education sector since the COVID-19, especially in protocol, is suffering a lot. We are having a lot of people who are seeing education as a kind of entertainment perception on YouTube, LinkedIn and so on. And what we should never underestimate, the medium and the technical facilities the people are consuming these online sessions are mostly very, very young people, and the medium of them is actually the cell phone. So on a cell phone studying, this is something different than when you are sitting in your office. This has an immense impact on your studying outcome. And finally, I think what is one of the key parts in diplomacy, in e-learning, in a universitarian approach to education is that there is no safe space for discussion left anymore. As all sessions are recorded, the dialogue, the discussion, the exchange of ideas on specific topics is simply not given, because the people are in a certain way afraid that the things are recorded and, as we say, could be used against them. This is a fact. This is unfortunately the inconvenient truth that we are facing at this very moment in the new normal, like we can say in the protocol education. And this new normal was as well one of the things that we had already in the past 10 years, when the diplomatic protocol became more and more incorporated in the corporate protocol. And if you are seeing today, the market of protocol consultants is over flooded with people who are claiming to be experts, to be image consultants, to be protocol or etiquette consultant. I did recently a research on LinkedIn, and I find more than 5 million people who are claiming to be protocol, etiquette or image consultant. This has unfortunately the consequence that etiquette, protocol, manners, behaviors, finishing schools and so on are completely mixed around. Nobody understands exactly what is the difference between all these things, and this has a negative impact on the protocol perception, of course. Global protocol control of education, unfortunately, in this regard does not exist. We have to say that when we are in our institute choosing experts, we are taking a very, very deep look inside of their career and what they were doing. We are very, very keen on maintaining a quality in terms of research. We are having plagiarism software. We are having a zero tolerance in terms of copy-paste. And actually, this is one of the things where low quality is impacting the protocol education and the knowledge transfer. And actually, this is one of the problematics that we are facing. The wrong public perception of protocol professions in principle has the fact that everything, like I already shared, is in a certain way mixed together. We are seeing etiquette, we are seeing setting up tables, manners, dress codes, attending of reception and everything. We are underestimating with this perception the very, very important task and the very challenging task of every protocol profession, because as you all know, protocol is much more than just attending a reception and knowing how to tie a tie or how to walk in a proper way. How we are setting up a table is very important, but the conductive way of doing a protocol in a proper way to represent our institution is a much more challenging task than it is sometimes in the public perceived. We have the consequence as well that the social media, in principle YouTube, in principle Twitter and Instagram and all these social media that is existing, is giving us a possibility of accessing of images that are free of charge in a certain way, but they are fake free of charge. Actually, somebody is the ownership of this, has the ownership of these images, and actually it's suggesting us that everybody can criticize the work of the other ones. And actually, this is as well one of the things which we should not see solely as protocol. For the young people among us, actually for the young professions who would like to join a protocol profession, I'm always saying get as much practice as possible and never underestimate the workload and the managing task that you are having in a protocol profession. When we are suggesting to young people a wrong perception of protocol, actually we are creating a lot of frustration for these young people, because they are disappointed that they have a lack of free time, that they don't have so much time for the families, and actually they are serving the VIPs and they are not they are self the VIPs. For vain people who are actually wanting to work in this profession, I think protocol is for sure not the best profession to work in. Actually, we are, like Ines Pires is always saying, we are working for the others and not for ourselves. That means protocol is really in the terms of the service for the others. I was talking until now a lot of the problematics of the problems in education in protocol, and I would like now to show you and to share with you some solutions, actually, how we could tackle these situations and how we could make protocol a high quality standard in education. And actually one of the facts is, and I am very, very keen into this, and the quality is one of the things that is guaranteed only by high-level experts. And we are choosing, for example, experts in very, very qualitative interviews, and they have to know protocol really from A to Z. They have to have a track-proven experience on minimum 5 to 10 years in protocol. They have to have an experience in knowledge transfer, in not only lecturing, but workshop didactical skills, and actually adapting to the different audiences, adapting to the different culture as well. And they must share solely their own experience or their own sound academic research that follows certain methodologies in social science. So that means we have to indicate which... Excuse me, I'm just hearing now as well the interpreter. I think there's a technical problem. Is this more also? Okay, no problem. Okay. Yes, I'm hearing the interpreter in Portuguese. I don't know what is, maybe it, I'm going to continue. So that means that experts should indicate external sources for pictures and videos, and we have to have a plagiarism check and a constant evaluation of the experts. And actually we launched last year in the conference of Moscow a so-called ethic codex, where we demand from the people who would like to work with us to follow these certain steps of ethics, meaning indicating sources that are coming from external sources and actually sharing only content that is coming from their own research or own experience. The second step to improve the quality is to give young people the most possibilities of and the most practical experience as possible. We are doing this by internship mentorships. We allow them to organize their events by themselves and actually to do research papers. When they do the exams, they have to pass plagiarism checks, and actually they have to follow very, very strict academic standards. Otherwise, we are not granting executive diplomas, and as you know, you can study with us an executive master program as well. So we are following these very, very strict European standards in education, and without this, we are not issuing executive diplomas from our institutions. The third thing is that we have to have a constant involvement of the institute, of the protocol, in protocol projects, in research and in publications. That means we have to have a certain kind of accreditative body who is saying that we are following this quality. This could be the EFMD, the Q4, or you can mention it, there are a lot of accreditation bodies worldwide. Consultancy projects where you are working on the field in protocol, and actually where you are producing your own research and publishing this using scientific methodology. Internal and external auditing to guarantee actually the quality and to try to maintain the standards that we are having. And actually this is the end of my presentation.